Elaine Stritch was an American actress and singer, best known for her work on Broadway. She appeared in numerous stage plays and musicals, feature films and many television programs. She was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame in 1995. Stritch made her professional stage debut in 1944 and her Broadway debut in the comedy Loco in 1946. The actress's notable Broadway credits include her Tony Award-nominated roles in the original production of William Inge's 1955 play Bus Stop, and musicals by Noël Coward and Stephen Sondheim. The latter included her performance of the song The Ladies Who Lunch, plus the 1996 revival of the Edward Albee play A Delicate Balance and her 2001 Tony Award-winning one-woman show Elaine Stritch at Liberty. In the 1970s, she relocated to London, starring in several West End productions, including Tennessee Williams' Small Craft Warnings in 1973 and the Neil Simon play The Gingerbread Lady in 1974. She also starred with Donald Sinden in the ITV sitcom Two's Company, which ran from 1975 to 1979 and earned her a BAFTA TV Award nomination. She won an Emmy Award in 1993 for her guest role on Law & Order and another in 2004 for the television documentary of her one-woman show. From 2007 to 2012, she had a recurring role as Jack Donaghy's mother, Colleen, on NBC's 30 Rock, a role that won her a third Emmy in 2007. Early life: Elaine Stritch was born on February 2, 1925, in Detroit, Michigan, the youngest daughter of Mildred, a homemaker, and George Joseph Stritch, an executive with B.F. Goodrich. Her Roman Catholic family was well off. Stritch's father was of Irish descent, her mother of Welsh. Samuel Cardinal Stritch, Archbishop of Chicago from 1940 to 1958, was one of her uncles. She trained at the dramatic workshop of the New School in New York City under Erwin Piscator. Other students at the dramatic workshop at this time included Marlon Brando and B. Arthur. Career: early stage career: Stritch made her stage debut in 1944. However, her Broadway debut was in Loco in 1946, directed by Jed Harris, followed soon after by Made in Heaven and An Angel in the Wings, a revue in which she performed comedy sketches and the song Civilization. Stritch understudied Ethel Merman for Call Me Madam, and, at the same time, appeared in the 1952 revival of Pal Joey, singing Zip. Stritch later starred in the national tour of Call Me Madam, and appeared in a supporting role in the original Broadway production of William Inge's play Bus Stop. She was the lead in the musical Goldilocks. She starred in Noël Coward's Sail Away on Broadway in 1961. Stritch started in the show in a relatively minor role and was only promoted over the title and given virtually all the best songs when it was reckoned that the leading lady, although excellent, was rather too operatic for a musical comedy. During out-of-town tryouts in Boston, Coward was unsure about the dramatic talents of one of the leads, opera singer Jean Feen. They were, after all, engaged for their voices and it is madness to expect two singers to play subtle Noël Coward love scenes with the right values and sing at the same time. Joe Layton suggested, what would happen if we just eliminated Feen's role and gave everything to Stritch? The show was very old-fashioned, and the thing that was working was Elaine Stritch. Every time she went on stage, she was a sensation. The reconstructed Sail Away opened in New York on October 3. In 1966, she played Ruth Sherwood in the musical Wonderful Town at New York City Center, and appeared in an off-Broadway revival of Private Lives in 1968. Stritch became known as a singer with a brassy, powerful voice. She was the original performer cast in the role of Joanne in Stephen Sondheim's company on Broadway. After over a decade of successful runs in shows in New York, Stritch moved in 1972 to London, where she starred in the West End production of Company. On tour and in stock, Stritch appeared in such musicals as No, No, Nanette, The King and I Married an Angel, and both as Vera Charles and Mame Dennis in Mame. Television. Strich's earliest television appearances were in The Growing Pains and the Goodyear television playhouse. She also appeared on episodes of The Ed Sullivan Show in 1954. She was the first and original Trixie Norton in a Honeymooners sketch with Jackie Gleason, Art Carney and Pert Kelton. The character was originally a burlesque dancer, but the role was rewritten and recast after just one episode with the more wholesome-looking Joyce Randolph playing the character as an ordinary housewife. Stritch's other television credits included a number of dramatic programs in the 1950s and 1960s, including Studio One. In the 1960 television season, Stritch appeared in the role of writer Ruth Sherwood in the CBS sitcom My Sister Eileen, opposite Shirley Bonner's her younger sister, Eileen Sherwood, an aspiring actress. The sisters, natives of Ohio, live in a brownstone apartment in Greenwich Village. The one-season series aired opposite Hawaiian Eye on ABC and Perry Como's Craft Music Hall on NBC. In 1975, Stritch starred in the British LWT comedy series Two's Company opposite Sir Donald Sinden. She played Dorothy McNabb, an American writer living in London who was known for her lurid and sensationalist thriller novels. Sinden played Robert, her English butler, who disapproved of practically everything Dorothy did, and the series derived its comedy from the inevitable culture clash between Robert's very British stiff upper lip attitude and Dorothy's devil-may-care New York view of life. Two's Company was exceptionally well received in Britain and ran for 4 series until 1979. In 1979, both Stritch and Sinden were nominated for a BAFTA TV Award for Two's Company, in the category Best Light Entertainment Performance, losing out to Ronnie Barker. Other British television appearances by Stritch included Roald Dahl's Tales of the Unexpected. Although she appeared several times in different roles, perhaps her most memorable appearance was in the story William and Mary, in which she played the wife of a man who has cheated death by having his brain preserved. She appeared on BBC One's children's series, Jack Canary, reading, among other stories, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. After returning to the United States, she appeared on The Edge of Night as vinegary nanny Mrs. de Groot, then was cast as a regular on the short-lived The Ellen Burstyn Show in 1986. She appeared as the stern schoolteacher Mrs. McGee on 3 episodes of The Cosby Show. She had recurring roles in Law and Order as Lainey Stiglitz in Third Rock from the Sun. On April 26, 2007, she began guest appearances on the NBC sitcom 30 Rock as Colleen, the fearsome mother of Alec Baldwin's lead character, Jack Donaghy. Her later roles included as Judge Grace Lemmer on Oz, and as Martha Albright on 2 episodes of Third Rock from the Sun, alongside her Broadway co-star George Grizzard, who played George Albright. Stritch was reportedly considered for the role of Dorothy Tzpornak on The Golden Girls but, as she related in her show Elaine Stritch at Liberty, she blew her audition. The role was cast with Bea Arthur. She was seen on One Life to Live, replacing fellow stage legend Eileen Heckart as Wilma Byrne. Film roles: Stritch appeared in more films in her later years than the early part of her career. In an interview in 1988, it was noted that making movies is challenging to Stritch since she considers herself a novice. She said, "I'm fascinated with it. And I want to do more of them." She was asked why she waited so long to make movies since she apparently enjoys it so much. "You do a movie for, 3 months and then you're finished. You do a part in a play and it's like going into a room full of audiences for a year." Early in her career, she appeared in 3 Violent People starring Charlton Heston, as the hotel proprietor pal of Anne Baxter, and then co-starred opposite Rock Hudson and Jennifer Jones in the David O. Selznick remake of A Farewell to Arms as Hudson's nurse. In The Perfect Furlough, she co-starred opposite Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. She had a showy role as the lesbian proprietor of a bar in the cult film Who Killed Teddy Bear, which starred Sal Mineo. She played a tough-as-nails nurse in the remake of The Spiral Staircase and was praised for her performance in Providence. When she returned to the United States in the mid-1980s from London, Woody Allen cast her as the former movie star mother in his drama September. People magazine called her performance acclaimed, and wrote, "Though the movie has received mixed reviews, Stritch's roaring presence, like Godzilla in a stalled elevator, can't be ignored." Allen later cast her in his comedy Small Time Crooks, in which she played a snobby socialite. Rex Reed wrote of her performance, Elaine Stritch can still stop you in your tracks with a meaningless, drop-dead one-liner. She joined the ensemble of Cocoon. The return is an apartment manager who helps widow Jack Guilford get over his wife's death. Among her co-stars were former Goldilocks co-star Donna Meck and Gwen Verdon. She appeared in Out to Sea as Diane Cannon's wisecracking mother and danced up a storm with the other characters. She played Winona Ryder's loving grandmother in the film Autumn in New York. Stritch had a rare co-starring role in the comedy Screwed, playing Miss Crock, who becomes the intended victim of a kidnapping by her disgruntled butler. She appeared in the comedy Monster-in-Law starring Jennifer Lopez and Jane Fonda, playing Fonda's mother-in-law. BBC Radio. In 1982, Stritch appeared on an edition of the long-running BBC radio comedy series Just a Minute alongside Kenneth Williams, Clement Freud and Barry Cryer. The show was described by longtime chairman Nicholas Parsons as being among the most memorable because of the way Stritch stretched the show's rules. She described Kenneth Williams as capable of making one word into a three-act play. Later stage work, after her husband, John Bay, died from brain cancer in 1982, Stritch returned to America, and after a further lull in her career and struggles with alcoholism, Stritch began performing again. She appeared in a one-night-only concert of Company in 1993 and as Parthy in a Broadway revival of the musical show Boat in 1994. In 1996 she played Claire in a revival of Edward Albee's A Delicate Balance, with Variety writing, equally marvelous as Stritch, with a meteor role in her recent foray as Parthy in show Boat. To watch her succumb to the vast amounts of alcohol Claire ingests, folding and refolding her legs, slipping a euro oozing a euro onto the floor, her face crumpling like a paper bag, is to witness a different but equally winning kind of thespian expertise. It's a masterclass up there. Elaine Stritch at Liberty. Her one-woman show Elaine Stritch at Liberty, a summation of her life and career, premiered at New York's Public Theater, running from November 7 to December 30, 2001. It then ran on Broadway at the Neil Simon Theatre from February 21 to May 27, 2002 and then, also in 2002, at London's Old Vic Theatre. Newsweek noted. Now we see how at Liberty, the amazing one-woman show Stritch is moving to Broadway from the Public Theatre this week, acquired the credit, constructed by John Lahr. Reconstructed by Elaine Stritch. The reconstruction means I had the last say, she says. Damn right I did. In case you didn't notice, Stritch is not the kind of woman who goes in for the sappy self-indulgence that pollutes most one-person shows. In fact, At Liberty is in a class by itself, a biting, hilarious and even touching tour de force tour of Stritch's career and life. Almost every nook and cranny of At Liberty holds a surprise. Turns out she dated Marlon Brando, Gig Young and Ben Gazzara, though she dropped Ben when Rock Hudson showed an interest in her. And we all know what a bum decision that turned out to be, she says. And then there were the shows. A British writer recently called Stritch Broadway's last First Lady, and when you see her performing her signature numbers from Company and Pal Joey and hear her tell tales of working with Merman, Coward, Gloria Swanson and the rest, it's hard to argue. Especially since she does it all dressed in a long white shirt and form-fitting black tights. It's both a metaphor for her soul-bearing musical and a sartorial kiss my rear gesture to anyone who thinks there isn't some life left in the 76-year-old diva. Somebody said to me the other day, "Is this the last thing you're going to do?" Says Stritch. In your dreams. I can't wait to get back into an Yves Saint Laurent costume that isn't mine €1, but that will be when the show is over. A Little Night Music. Stritch appeared in the Broadway revival of the Sondheim Wheeler musical A Little Night Music from July 2010 to January 2011, succeeding Angela Lansbury in the role of Madame Armfeldt, the wheelchair-bound mother who remembers her life as a courtesan in the song Liaisons. The AP reviewer of the musical wrote devotees of Stritch, who earned her Sondheim stripes singing, memorably, "The ladies who lunch in Company 40 years ago, will revel in how the actress, who earned a huge ovation before her very first line at a recent preview, brings her famously salty, acerbic style to the role of Madame Armfeldt." The theatre critic for the Toronto Star wrote, Stritch offers a sophisticated gloss on her by now patented, plain-talking woman who reveals all the home truths everyone ever wanted to hear about themselves. When Stritch tears into her big set piece, Liaisons, about all the affairs in her life, it's not just a witty catalogue of indiscretions but a deeply moving fast-forward through a life filled equally with love, loss, joy and regret. Cabaret. Stritch performed a cabaret act in New York City at the Café Carlyle in the Carlyle Hotel, where she was a resident, since 2005 until she left New York in 2013. Her first show at the Carlyle was titled At Home at the Carlyle. The New York Times reviewer wrote, "Amazingly, none of the 16 songs she performs have ever been in her repertory, and just as amazingly, you don't miss signature numbers." L. Ettingham Go has allowed her to venture into more sensitive emotional territory. Interpreting stark, talk-sing versions of Rodgers and Hart's He Was Too Good to Me, 50% from the musical Ballroom, and Kurt Weill and Ogden Nash's That's Him, she comes into her own as a dramatic ballad singer. Between musical numbers, Stritch told stories from the world of stage and screen, tales from her everyday life and personal glimpses of her private tragedies and triumphs. She performed at the Café Carlyle in early 2010 and in fall 2011 in At Home at the Carlyle, Elaine Stritch singing Sondheim. One Song at a Time. Personal life. Stritch was married to the actor John Bay from 1973 until his death in 1982. He was part of the family that owns the Bay's English Muffins Company, and Stritch sent English muffins as gifts to friends. Said John Kenley, "Every Christmas, she still sends me English muffins." When she was based in London, Stritch and her husband lived at the Savoy Hotel. She was good friends with gossip columnist Liz Smith, with whom she shared a birthday. In March 2013, Stritch announced she was leaving New York and relocating to Birmingham, Michigan. Stritch was candid about her struggles with alcohol. She took her first drink at 14 and began using it as a crutch before performances to vanquish her stage fright and insecurities. Her drinking worsened after Bay's death, and she sought help after experiencing issues with effects of alcoholism, as well as the onset of diabetes. Elaine Stritch at Liberty discusses the topic at length. Death. Stritch died in her sleep at her home in Birmingham, Michigan, on July 17, 2014. She was 89 years old. Stritch suffered from diabetes and had been battling stomach cancer at the time of her death, 3 months after surgery for the disease. In popular culture, Stritch's voice and vocal delivery are spoofed in the forbidden Broadway songs The Ladies Who Screech, and Stritch, parodies of The Ladies Who Lunch, and Zip, songs she performed in the musicals Company and Pal Joey. In 2009, a parody by Bats Langley entitled, How the Stritch Stole Christmas appeared on YouTube. On the Big Gay Sketch Show in 2007, she was spoofed as a Walmart greeter who is still a theater gal at heart. In a later episode, Stritch is spoofed as an airport security guard, who's still on, and isn't able to tone down her over-the-top antics. In yet another episode, Stritch is promoting her self-titled perfume Stritchy in dramatic fashion when she is confronted by the real-life Elaine Stritch, who makes a cameo appearance. In Season 4, Episode 2 of Modern Family Schooled, Mitch stated that school was difficult for him because of having a name that rhymes with witch, snitch, btch, Elaine Stritch, to which he states that, not all bullies are straight. Honors and awards. Tony Awards. Stritch earned 5 Tony Award nominations, winning once. Best Featured Actress in a Play for Bus Stop, 1956, Best Actress in a Musical for Sail Away, 1962, Best Actress in a Musical for Company, 1971, Best Actress in a Play for A Delicate Balance, 1996, Best Special Theatrical Event for her one-woman show Elaine Stritch at Liberty, 2002. In addition to the 2002 Tony Prize, Elaine Stritch at Liberty was awarded the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Solo Performance the same year. The stage performance of observations and songs from her life in theatre would later be the focus of D.A. Pennebaker's 2004 documentary Elaine Stritch at Liberty, which went on to win several Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Achievement in a Variety or Music Program. Emmy Awards. Stritch earned 8 Emmy nominations, winning 3. Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Miniseries or a Movie for an Inconvenient Woman Euro 1991, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series for Law & Order Euro 1993, Outstanding Individual Performance in a Variety Program for Elaine Stritch at Liberty Euro 2004, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for 30 Rock Euro 2007, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for 30 Rock Euro 2008, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for 30 Rock Euro 2009, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for 30 Rock Euro 2010, Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for 30 Rock Euro 2013, Grammy Awards. An audio recording of the Best Halloween Ever earned Stritch a 2005 Grammy nomination for Best Spoken Word Album for Children. American Theatre Hall of Fame. Stritch was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame in 1995. Work, stage. Filmography. References. External links, Elaine Stritch at the Internet Broadway Database, Elaine Stritch at the Internet Off-Broadway Database, Elaine Stritch at the Internet Movie Database, Tomasini, Anthony. A Broadway Legends Lessons for Singers. The New York Times. Retrieved May 1, 2010. Just a Minute transcript. Father Beck interviews Elaine Stritch. Elaine Stritch interview, performance, working in the theatre CUNY TV video by the American Theatre Wing, September 1989, video a Euro Late Show with David Letterman a Euro absurd recurring sketch of Stritch thinking Letterman is her pool boy.